match in prospect. Join our match commentator, Rob Palmer.
Swirling winds greet the two teams, and as near perfect a pitch as you'll find in the rain-lashed British Isles. Top of manager Howard Kendall's centre-forward rota is Mo Johnston, starting for the first time in 10 matches. That's the only change from the team which lost to Ipswich on Saturday. Johnston partners Stuart Barlow, a hit in the reserve team, a player with pace who's still seeking his first senior goal. Great things expected of him. Billy Kenny, who made his full debut in this competition, partners Ian Snowden in midfield. In competition, Mick Harford, who Everton desperately wanted to bring to Goodison Park in the summer. He wanted to stay in the home counties, and the move to Chelsea has certainly worked out. The Chelsea lineup is unchanged for the last 6 games. The Premier League's in-form side with 7 wins out of the last 8 matches, and one at Goodison Park only 11 days ago. Robert Fleck scoring the only goal of the game. Never any doubt about this match going ahead. Referee Howard King didn't even need to inspect the pitch. In fact, he was quite delighted with the state of the pitch when he saw it. Everton kick off with manager Howard Kendall stressing the need for positive thinking inside Goodison Park. They seem to have a mental block at home. They've only won once here in the Premier League, and once, of course, in the Coca-Cola Cup against Rotherham United. Well, Howard Kendall's quote that they could win the championship possibly adds the David Icke book of quotations. Ablett brings the ball forward. Hinchcliffe has made space on this side. Doesn't have much support, though. Gary Ablett, in the Liverpool tradition, where he was an apprentice, of course, brings it forward. Hinchcliffe again. An opening over the top of Johnston, and a shot from the far post from Alan Harper, of all people. For good positioning from Kevin Hitchcock. Well, the ball again swept from side to side by Everton. Johnston making a nuisance of himself, and almost a rare goal for Alan Harper. Captain David Watson, the deliberate long ball, hoping for Barlow to get a chase again at the youngster's feet. A bit of fright on the Chelsea faces when this man gets it. Eddie Newton carries it forward. Snowden makes amends for his mistake. And a good ball from Watson. The groans and moans around Goodison Park, but it works out for Mo Johnston, who's dwarfed by the 2 big men that are marking him on that side of the field, as is Stuart Barlow, but that doesn't put him off creating a nuisance for himself, and wins himself a free kick on the edge of the area. Well, Frank Sinclair coming in on the back of him. The referee very well placed, and a very dangerous position indeed. Well, Everton have 2 options. They have the power and might of Andy Hinchcliffe's left foot, and they have a little bit more placement from Kenny. It's Hinchcliffe that goes for it, and Hinchcliffe wasn't too far off. Well, it's the 2 fullbacks who've had the best chances so far. He'll probably claim that the wind took it away. Work from Kenny, puts his partner Snowden in a bit of a quandary. Long ball over the top. Barlow checks with the lines when he's onside. Danger can keep it in play over the top to Beardsley, and cleared off the line again by the big centre half David Lee. From one end to the other, but a good challenge from Snowden. Hinchcliffe takes charge of the situation. Low ball in, and again Beardsley, and a great save from Hinchcliffe. But Peter Beardsley getting forward twice within the space of, 20 seconds. First time it was Barlow behind the defence. He looked up, a perfect ball from him, and cleared off the line desperately by Lee. Wasn't cleared properly, and Beardsley again giving the defenders the slip, and Hinchcliffe this time the saviour. Here again, and Hinchcliffe watching it all of the way. Stewart has plenty of skill. Back to Harford. Chelsea want him in the centre to be on the end of those balls. Little disagreement there, I think, with Eddie Newton, who wanted the ball played in low and hard to the far post. Well, that's the measure of the wind. Sinclair not beaten by the player, but beaten by the conditions. Beasley tries to shot. The ball was going to the left as Beasley hit it, and suddenly the wind caught him and took it to the right. Well, Howard Kendall will say it's about time that their look changed. The ball was held up and it came to Beasley. An amazing twist took it into the stanchion. Well, it was something like a Brazilian would come out with, wouldn't he? Such a Brazilian would never play in these conditions. And Hitchcock totally wrong-footed. This is Wise. 4 Everton players around him, and 2 of them bring him down. Now, if the referee's going to book somebody, which one's he going to book? Because they both seem to foul him. But Alan Harper and Dennis Wise have had a couple of scuffles early on. In fact, the only booking is going to be to a Chelsea player. The 2 of them brought him down. Wise hit the ground. Mick Harford decided to protest, and Mick Harford got himself in the book. Free kick taken quickly. It's Wise with the cross. Sinclair still up. Lee's header. Falls to Fleck. He's got a second chance, but Keown tight. Oh, and the goal to Chelsea. Well, the Everton players are just standing and watching. Mick Harford's claiming it. It was Robert Fleck who really created it, picking up the pieces. The ball bobbling around the area. 3 players on Lee. Fleck picking up the pieces. His shot blocked by Keown. Wise's overhead kick. And Mick Harford claiming it came off his back heel. Southall has a little bit of time before Harford closes him down. And that's not a bad ball to Stuart Barlow, just shoved in the back by Sinclair. Barlow's shot! Well, that's the goal the youngster's been waiting for ever since he joined Everton. Howard Kendall said that when 1 goal comes for Stuart Barlow, they'll come in numbers. It was Beardsley who created it. Barlow brought it down. Superb control and an absolutely brilliant strike. Townsend cross. Harford's flicked down. Doesn't quite fall right to Stewart. Fleck. Harford. This time it does fall right to Stewart. A brilliant save by Southall, and the follow-up again from Fleck. But just wide. And proving his worth yet again, Neville Southall. His positioning was right, standing on the edge of his 6-yard box. Knew he couldn't catch it, parried it out. And the pace too much for Robert Fleck. Sinclair climbing high over Mo Johnston. The attendance tonight, 14,457. I think that's about 2,500 more than Everton were anticipating, so they'll be very happy with that attendance. And the 14,000 Everton fans who braved the freezing conditions will be very happy with what they've seen so far. Ablett's free kick. Properly cleared. Kenny with a shot! And Kevin Hitchcock didn't have to move. But I think Howard Kendall must have told his team to shoot on sight tonight. We've had 2 long shots, and Kenny must have been, what, 35 yards out? But the wind couldn't catch Kevin Hitchcock out this time. Stewart lets it go to Fleck. Fleck inside, and, well, if Wise had hit the target, there was little that Neville Southall could have done about that. The Everton defence were like statues. flick with the outside, a little nutmeg, and a bit of the Dennis Laws, I think, there from Dennis Wise. Harper stretches. And Everton not too happy on that left-hand side of their defence. Stewart's cross over everybody, but Southall the saviour again. Well, Howard Kendall has decided to make a switch in defence. Hinchcliffe was ever so comfortable in that left-back role. All of a sudden, Stewart and Fleck are finding space, and Southall and his defenders have been tested. Newton, Wise. Eddie Newton again, scored on his full debut against Everton in the last game of last season, Eddie Newton. Happy ground for him. Wise forced back. Townsend, who almost became an Everton player. Here's Newton again, can he score? Brought down, a shot, Southall saved with his legs, Pat Jennings style. And for the second time in the space of a couple of minutes, Neville Southall keeping Everton's advantage. So, Fleck, Wise sizing up the shot, and as he does that, Watson gets in a tackle. Well, a strong appeal for a penalty, but the referee and the linesman united in saying that Dennis Wise had, well, literally no chance. Corner anyway. Wise takes it. Southall comes and stays. Back to Wise. Southall off his line, a strong punch to it. The ball straight to Lee, and a brave challenge from Horn. For the second one, a silly challenge. Free kick to Chelsea. Little flick over the top. A header, and that's been another Southall. And Graham Stewart has brought Chelsea back into the game. And I must say, in the last couple of minutes, it's really deserved for Chelsea. Well, Graham Stewart had seen nothing of the ball when Andy Hinchcliffe was on the field, and suddenly since Hinchcliffe's substitution, he's found all kinds of space, and the small man finds a small space in the left-hand corner of Neville Southall's goal. And with 12 minutes to go, it's all level. A little bit of climbing. Couldn't have got any higher if they'd been on the step ladder of Gary Ablett. Mick Harford is a threat from the very beginning to the end. We've seen little of Harford's aerial threat. Now this is a similar position to Chelsea's equaliser. Harford's flick, and Southall, I think, getting the faintest of touches to that. And Everton falling yet again for a set piece. Harford's little flick, and Southall's footwork had to be good. I think it just touched possibly his fingernails. Well, he said on Saturday that Everton had a championship winning side. After this performance, will he say they have a cup winning side, I wonder? Thorough Colin Harvey can't bear to look. Watson clears. Everton throw. The wind takes it to the halfway line. Comes off the hip of Conte, but he'd been pushed, according to Mr. King. Kenny, Barlow. Barlow again. The pass just lets him down. Hitchcock clears when Dave Beasant was in goal. Those kind of clearances were going straight to strikers. Beardsley, Kenny. Oh, he left it for somebody, but nobody was there. And there's the full-time whistle. It finishes all level. Stuart Barlow, well, not too many people remember this night. Barlow will, his first goal in senior football, and deserves the applause of the Goodison faithful. But this man turned the game. When Andy Hinchcliffe went off, Stewart started to rule the roost, and he's the player that scored the equaliser, which will take the two teams back to Stamford Bridge, when there'll be more of those visiting Chelsea fans on December the 16th. Final score here at Goodison Park, Everton 2, Chelsea 2.